Morning guys, February 20th, 2025. This one here I got a call from a guy. Put a heating system in probably about 8 years ago, I guess. He had an old gravity hydronic system with no circulator. No big
turn left on Bond's Volvo.
It was a big pancake boiler, and I think it had a gas conversion burner in it. It was an oil burner at one time. Might even been a coal back in the day. And so I think that I changed the boiler out, or I might have just changed the circulator. I'm not sure if I changed. I think I put a new boiler in there. But anyway, he's saying the circulator's not working. But it's an old gravity system. Cast iron radiators.
At the traffic light.
Cast iron radiators and 2-pipe, 2-inch supply and return, big volume system. The old systems didn't have circulators. They would work off gravity. 8-degree change in temperature would circulate water. The old systems, they never had circulators, some of them. Yeah, 8-degree temperature change, it will circulate. That's why you need a flow check on systems. Some of the new circulators come with flow checks on the hydraulic systems. But anyway, we're going to go over there. I've worked for this guy before. I believe I changed the boiler, but I think I did, but we'll find out when I get there. I don't know, 8-10 years ago. Might even be longer than that. He's retired now. I've worked for this guy over the years. Returning customer. 2010, that's what, 14 years, 15 years?
15 years.
Yeah, it was an old. And it's the original tank. I remember there was an old gravity system.
Yep.
So the first floor is heating, but not the second.
Yep. And the second floor heats, but it's
Well, maybe you got to bleed the radiators upstairs.
I did.
You did?
I did. When I turn the heat up, I can hear it because I hear the pump go on.
Yeah, and what it was good is I put ball valves, so easy to change. I just got to make sure there's power going to it. It's kids, but he don't want them. So I guess I'm not going to have any grandkids. I got a dog.
You got these little,
That's like a flipping grandkid. Now,
little chihuahua?
now, let me ask you a question. When you bled the radiators upstairs, did water come out?
Yep.
All right, so you bled them all.
Yep.
Probably the pump. Don't seem like it's circulating.
Usually when I turn the heater up, I can hear the pump go on.
Yeah, because this is a 0010, so I just want to make sure that there's power going to it. C1, C2. It should be C1, C2 right here. No power.
No power.
No power going to the circulator. Volts AC. C1, C2. The circulator was cold, like I said. Nothing. Make sure my meter's working. L1, L2. B1, B2. B1, B2. Make sure that's working. Yeah, I got no power going to the circulator. Which is kind of weird. It's not off on high limit. That ain't going to affect nothing. L1, L2 is here. Let's check the power coming in. Yeah, we got power coming in, L1, L2. nothing on the circulator. So we got a bad circulator control there. And this is the one that's got the damper. The damper control. Well, we got to change the control. Oh.
No problem.
No, I mean, I'll get something in the truck that'll work. Alright, I talked to him about it. He said I'll go with the used control if I got one. Which I might. I don't know what this one is. That's got a low limit. That's not the one we want. That's this one. Check this one out. This one might work. If not, I'll go with this one might be what we need. We'll check it. Line voltage. This is for oil. To be line voltage. Alright, we gotta change this thing. I got a little bit of lighting if I could, but looking crazy. Alright, see if we can change this thing. I got the power off. Man, fucking cold. Cold, cold, cold. Crazy. So this is the damper control. The new one should have the damper control. Pretty sure. It's new control. Not gonna be cheap, mama. Alright, we'll have to go with this one. I did lock the damper control open. It's not shutting anyway, it's staying open. Thing's not working anyway. Damper control's not working anyway, so it's an old 15 years old. Usually I just go away with the damper control so that the amount of money you're gonna save with that really don't matter. It gets older. I'll leave that locked open. Not working anyway. This one does have a damper control plug, but it's not being used. Alright. What we got here? TT. We got the power off. This is the TT here. Oh, the TT's right here. And then 24 volt. This one has to be the one that says gas. For gas boilers, it's 24 volt going to the burner. V1. V1, V2. And this should be This is C1, C2 circulator. No power. And then B1, L1, L2, which is the power coming in. We had power coming in, but nothing going to the circulator, so I'm going to change it. Crazy. Oh, we're going the wrong way there, bitch. Right on the bottom of this thing should have a 5/16. I'm going to stay with the probe that's in there. Just the new control, the low water cutoff won't be activated unless you change the probe. I have no problem leaving the probe that's in there. I don't. There's two here, see? I'm gonna make sure that the one you're gonna use, the one you're not using, you gotta make sure that it's tight on there, because I've had them fall off and short out the control. So I make sure the one I'm not using is tight. This is the one I'm gonna use. That's the one I'm going to use right there. Make sure it goes on good. It's tight on there. I'm gonna plug this into the other one, but it's not being used. So that's in there nice and tight. Don't fall off or nothing. Alright. This probe. I got replacement probes for these in the truck. That goes in all the way. Make sure that's in all the way. That's in all the way. What's this thing all about? Yeah, that's if the low limit's on. Alright. Oh, it's not being used, I'll put it in anyway. I'm all about shits and giggles. rather just have this thing locked out anyway, to be honest with you. It's not being used, it's not working. For him to change that, you're probably looking at $350 for that damper control. You don't need it. You're going to raise the efficiency by 1% or some crazy thing. We'll plug it in just to have it. Just so it's there. Keep the internet trolls happy. To keep the internet trolls happy, you know. This will be TT. There's TT. B1, L1, L2 comes in over here. B1, B2 comes in on this side. Fucking nutty. And B1, B2 goes here. B1 is the speed. And then B2 will be the neutral. Yep. B1, B2. L1, L2, and circulator. I could come in one side here with one. This is probably L1, L2. And it's this one. L. my L1, L2. I don't need them that long. I can cut them back. L1, L2 is the power coming in. L1's black. Yes, there, put that probe in after. I mean, it's just kind of in the way. L1 is power. And then L2 is neutral. The next one coming in here will be the circulator. C1 and C2 to the circulator. Alright, and then same thing with this thing. Cut these back a little bit more. C1, C2. Don't need all that. Don't need all that. This is a little better. 14 wire, which is easier to work with. That 12 is a little bit more to work with. This is a little easier. C2 and C1. C2 would be neutral. C1 is the power going to the circulator. All right. Make sure everything's tight. It's hooked up to TT. This probe has to go in. Make sure that probe's in all the way. It should be in all the way. Like that. And then we turn it on. We can set the low limit and the high limit. We'll turn it on. Low limit. Low limit's off. That's the economizer. This is the low limit. That's the low limit. There's the high limit. Looks like it might have melted a solder joint right there. Maybe. A little solder might, if you had a little solder right there, it might work, but don't play around with that shit. Alright, it's working now. It's got to get to 120 for the circulator to work.
It's working.
Yeah, now this new control I got in here, it's got to heat up to 120 before the circulator kicks on. Just how it's designed.
Okay.
So when you first start it up and it's 100 degrees in there, the boiler has to heat up to 120
I see.
before the circulator will come on.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have a used one in the truck, so I had to sell you a new one, unfortunately.
So when I turn the heat up, I don't expect.
No, when you turn the heat up, you turn it up just regular.
Yeah.
But if the boiler's cold, like say the boiler's 100 degrees, it's a cold start.
Yeah.
It has to heat up to 120
I understand.
before the circulator will kick on, and that stops it from condensating.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
I understand.
The new ones weren't like that. When you turned them on, the thing would fire and the circulator would come on right away. This one has a little delay that has to warm up to a certain temperature, even if the low limit's off. And I do have the low limit off, and I do have the economizer off. This one's got all kinds of bells and whistles where you could put it up to, you know, a lot of different type of systems, you know.
Yeah, because I'm used to when I turn the heat up, I can hear it.
Well, it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come on. It's gonna heat up a little bit.
Okay.
Once it kicks in at 120, if the boiler goes below that, it's still gonna stay on. It's still staying on.
Okay.
So, just so you know. I don't want you calling me in a flipping panic.
Oh no.
I know how some of these people are. My sister's like that. You know, she'd be down there at the flipping boiler with a chair watching the flipping thing work, and then she calls me in a flipping panic that the thing's making this noise. Yeah, the flipping damper's opening or the circulator kicked on. I mean, drive you flipping crazy. She's like that, you know.
Yeah.
Gets all panicky over nothing. That's how it's supposed to operate. All the prices of these parts are going way up thanks to your boy Biden. Your buddy Biden.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking everybody's gouging.
Not
You
my
know?
buddy.
You go to buy something now and it's like twice the price, 3 times what it used to cost. Really
I
ridiculous.
think it's gonna get worse.
Look at all the flipping wasteful spending that they got. All these people on Social Security, 250 years old.
No, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because when you die, your funeral home reports to Social Security that you're dead. I've been through this with like 5.
High velocity, high volume pump because you got such a big system. You know. 0010. Replace main operating control. Shit.
Okay. Minus the 20.